OK, welcome back. Now, we're going straight to Mark White, who is in the Channel for us with some breaking news.
Yeah, we're as close as we can get, really, to this migrant boat now, bearing in mind that the French don't like us getting too close. Nigel Farage joins us again. And Nigel, this boat's absolutely packed. We can see that now as Ben on the camera tries to zoom in there.
Yeah, I reckon there's a good 70 people on there. It could be more, I don't know. Yards away. The strange thing is how organised, how calm everything is. There's the French naval vessel, just over there to the right. There's Border Force, casually waiting. They'll hand them over. Border Force will say, thank you very much. They'll be taken in. And within a couple of days, they'll be in a 4-star hotel, and probably some of them working as delivery drivers or whatever else it may be. It's almost as if it's being allowed to happen.
Well, listen, we're just going to get Ben to come in a bit closer to the edge here to get a shot as we continue to chat to you, Nigel. Yeah. I mean, the government say that they are ending the reliance on hotels, and the number is going down, although it seems it is up from when they came into office.
Well, I'm sorry, but I mean, if the hotels are bad, the HMOs, the houses of multiple occupancy, are even worse. You take a residential street where kids play in the evening, and you put 15 men in from the Middle East or from Africa. So you know, even if the hotels are visible, but the HMOs are just as bad in some ways for communities. They're viewed as being even worse.
Well, because I guess because people are right in the heart of communities rather than maybe a hotel on the edge of town.
Yes, and I mean, look, I think we can now speak more freely about this than we could before. The fact is, I've had reports, multiple reports. We had this in Runcorn, interestingly, in the by-election that took place a couple of months ago. Girls being followed to school, stuff like that. I mean, we're dealing with a lot of people here who come from a culture where women aren't even second-class citizens. That is the brutal truth of what is going on, and I think the British public are waking up to that, and that's why I think the government is in so much trouble. You know, just the irony that we're seeing this on the very day when some ridiculous deal that the French offered a Starmer and he accepts is about to be done. The country is absolutely furious about this. It is at or close to being the major issue in British public life.
And if we have, and we look to be on course to have a record year, potentially beating that very significant year of 46,000 in 2022, if we get to that point, how do you see the debate going? You've called this to be declared a national emergency. The government doesn't seem to be in any mood to sort of pick up and run with that.
No, it's in no mood to declare an emergency, despite the fact we've had terrorists recently arrested. Starmer, in his second speech as Prime Minister, to the European Convention on Human Rights, under which our judges won't allow any of these people, frankly, to be deported. I even doubt the 50-a-week deal with France will be allowed by British judges. And it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And it will lead to a total collapse of the Labour vote. A total collapse of the vote.
Well, on the politics of it all, while we continue to watch that migrant boat there, can I just ask you about reform and the evolving nature of the party? Now, of course, former Tory chairman Jake Berry, another to join reform. Isn't there a danger, really, that you're going to get so many Conservatives that actually is going to dilute your brand, that people aren't going to see the difference?
No, that's a very fair question and a strong point. You know, we are not the Conservative Party 2.0. We're not going to become the Conservative Party 2.0. Theirs is a completely broken brand. And there are many, many Conservatives who are talking to us. And we'll take those who we think don't bring with them the culture of infighting that we saw 4.5 years of under Boris Johnson. And we'll take people who've got talent. And Jake Berry's a very talented bloke. He isn't just joining us, he's actually going to work with us and help us. But you're right, we've got to be careful.
There will come a point, presumably, where you've got to say enough is enough. We can't accept any more Tory defectors.
No, but I mean, this week we've had he is now retired, former Cabinet Minister, Welsh Secretary David Jones, a very respected figure. We've got a former Tory Party chairman. I would say 2 former Cabinet Ministers in a week joining is politically very significant.
Let's just get a look at that naval vessel there, please, Ben. This is incredible how close we are. He is not going to be happy with us being here at this location because, of course, they don't like to have this process, this daily almost process, witness, Nigel. They want an exclusion zone around here is normally what they throw out.
It is, and I remember once being out here and the French naval vessel got in touch with us and asked us how we'd like to spend the night in the cells in Boulogne. So, it's funny, both the French side and the British side would rather we were not here. They would rather this was not filmed. They'd rather GB News and the rest of the media weren't covering it. They'd rather this was all buried under the carpet, but we are not going to allow that to happen. And I think today we've seen a perfect illustration of what goes on every red day in the Channel, and it's outrageous.
Okay, Nigel Farage, thank you very much indeed for speaking to us there. We are kind of moving away now from this migrant boat. I think we've tested the patience of the French Naval Patrol as much as we can. There is normally an exclusion zone around here which they don't like being intruded upon, of course. Bringing those live images that you're seeing there of this migrant boat absolutely packed out, at least 65, 70 migrants on board, having made its way from the coast of France near to making it to UK waters, where the Border Force vessel Hurricane is standing by, waiting, as is now routine, to pick up those migrants and take them to Dover Harbour.
Well, Mark White, thank you for that. Those pictures are simply unbelievable. That is politically disastrous on the day when Sir Keir Starmer meets with Emmanuel Macron today to agree a very limited one-in, one-out deal. Those images now on GB News, live on GB News with Nigel Farage and Mark White, our Home Security Editor, are absolutely so damaging to this government.
Yeah, absolutely, and deservedly so as well. That's one packed boat there, live footage, and we have been following that boat just as it left it was closer to the French shore than the British shore. And you heard Mark say there that the French patrol boat didn't like us filming it, didn't like us being too close. It's more interesting looking after those migrants, ensuring they were handed over to the UK border patrol boat. I'm sorry, I just find that shocking. Basically, both sides have sat and watched that boat, 70, and from what we could see, mostly young men, as usual, on that boat, overpacked young men on that boat. Both sides, the French and the British, watched the travel from the French coast to the British coast, and nobody did a thing. On the very same day, we have Macron and Keir Starmer saying, yeah, we have a deal, it's one in, one out, and we've done an amazing thing.
Well, the reaction later we'll get from Emmanuel Macron and Sir Keir Starmer to those images will be something, but quite extraordinary and a complete testament to the failure of this country and France to control our borders.